In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Rainbow Loom Santa charm. So what you'll need is one loom, and you want to have it set up in a rectangular shape so that all the pins are in line with one another. And as you can see, I've moved the blue connector pieces away from one another. We're going to be working with a length of 5 pins at the widest point, so you want to make sure your connector piece is away from the length of 5 pins. And for the colors, I have chosen white for Santa's beard. I have peach color bands for his face, and I have 2 beads that I have already strung onto the peach bands for his eyes. And I did that using a simple needle threader. If you don't have that, you can easily use a twisty tie. Just remove the paper part and use the wire to make a loop and pull your bands through your beads. If you don't have beads, you can just use one single black band, and I'll show you how you can make the eyes at the very end. And then you'll need the color for the Santa hat. I have like a dark red. So we're going to be starting with the first band placement. You want to look at the left side of your loom and you count over to the 4th pin, and that's where we're going to start. And we're going to be starting with white for the beard. So we're going to be placing that band up and diagonally to the right and twist. And then we want to go from here down and diagonally to the right and twist again. So that's going to be the length of 3 pins. That's what we're going to be starting with. And now what you want to do is go to the pin above, and you want to again place a band. This time we're going to come back down, crossing over diagonally to the left, and then we're going to go from here and up diagonally to the left and again twist. So that's what your first layer is going to look like. And now we want to do a second layer using those same pins. So we're going to again start on the left hand side. This time we don't have to twist. You want to go up and diagonally to the right, and then down and diagonally to the right. And then we're going to come back. So go to the pin above. You're going to come down diagonally to the left. And then again, we're going to go from here up diagonally to the left. And now that we have 2 layers on, we want to remove the bottom layer. So if you look at your pins, there's going to be 2 bands on the end pins and then 4 bands on the center pin. So we're going to remove just 1 band on the end pins, move up to the next, and we're going to remove the bottom 2. We're pulling from the bottom and over the top. So we want to get the bottom 2 bands off. Go up to the next, and we're going to remove just the bottom 1. Flip to the other side. Again, we're going to be removing the bottom 1 and then the bottom 2 from the center pin, and then again just the bottom 1 from the end. And now you want to push all of this down. And now we want to expand out to the length of 5 pins. So for this next layer, instead of starting here, we're going to move over to the left 1. And this time we're going up and diagonal, and we have to twist again. Since there's nothing underneath, we have to twist. And then we're going to again keep zigzagging our way up and down diagonally to the right. And then here we're going to extend out 1 more pin to the right. So we're going down diagonally, and we have to twist again. And now we're going to work our way back. So go to the pin above where you just ended your last band. We're going down and diagonally to the left and twisting. And then we're going to go back up to the left and then down again. And finally we're going to go back up to the left again, and we need to twist this band as well. So now we've extended out to the length of 5 pins. And you can see on the very end pins there's only 1 band, so we're not going to do anything. On the next pin up there's 3 bands, so we're going to just remove the bottom 1. And then on the next pin up we're going to be removing the bottom 2 bands. And then up to the next, we're just going to be removing the bottom one, and then nothing on the end pin. Flip to the other side, again nothing on the end. So the next one down towards you is just removing one, and then working our way down, we want to remove the bottom 2 bands, and then just one from the next, and then nothing from the end. And then you want to push all of this down, and then we're going to add another layer using the length of 5 pins. We're still working with all white for the beard, so I'm just going to do the same pattern again. And then once you're at the top, we're going to just work our way back down. And now that was our second layer using the length of 5 pins. And again, we're going to remove the bottom layer. So this time we have 2 bands on the end and 4 on all of the centers. So we're going to be removing the bottom 1 band from the end, and then 2 bands from all of the center pins. And then at the top, we're just going to be removing 1 band again. Flip to the other side, and then same thing, 1 on the end, and 2 on all of the center pins. And then 1 from the end. And again, you want to keep pushing everything down so you have room to add your next layer, and also for the Santa to work its way down through the open area as it grows. Now for this next layer, we want to narrow the Santa beard down to 3 pins again. So instead of starting on this far end left, we're going to be moving in 1 to the right, and again putting the same zigzag pattern to the right. And now I'm going to stop here because I want to move it in, so I'm not going to go all the way to the end, and then work my way back. And now what I want to do is move the bands from the 2 end pins in. So I'm going to start at the bottom left, get it on my hook, move it up and diagonally to the right, and then take the one from the top and move that down and diagonally to the right. Then I'm going to go to the other side, do the same thing, take the band at the top, move it down and diagonally to the left, and take the one at the bottom and move it up and diagonally to the left, just placing it on the very top of that pin. And now I want to remove the bottom 2 bands from all of the pins, since all of the pins have 4 bands on. And then go over to the other side, again remove the bottom 2 bands, and then once again we're going to push all of this down. Now next I'm going to start with the peach bands for the Santa face. I'm still going to be using the length of 3 pins, so I'm just going to put that layer on now. And then just work my way back. And now I want to remove the bottom layer again. Now this time I have 2 white bands on all of the pins and one peach on the ends and 2 in the center. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to remove 1 of the white bands from the bottom of each of the pins. So we're just removing 1 of the white bands from all of the 6 pins. And now what you want to do is again push all of this down. And now before we add our next layer of peach bands, I'm going to add the pink band for Santa's rosy cheeks. So what I'm going to do is just start on this bottom left pin, and I'm going to stretch it up. I'm going to go past the middle pin and go all the way to the top right bottom pin. So it's not going on top of this pin, it's just actually going behind it. So it's stretched from the one side to the other. And then what I'm going to do is again put another layer of peach on. So I'm just going to zigzag my way up and then back. And now you can see on the pins we have pretty many bands. We still have that one bottom white band on all the pins, and then the peach bands from that next peach layer and pink. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the bottom white band from all of the pins, and I'm also going to remove the bottom peach band. It's only going to be one on this end pin. And then I'm also going to be removing the pink band, which you're only going to have on the two end pins in the front. So now I'm only left with one single peach band on this pin. Move up to the next. I'm going to be removing one white band, and then I'm going to be removing two of the peach bands. And then go up to the next. It's going to be the same thing that we did on the first pin. We're going to be removing one white and one peach, and then also the one pink. Flip to the other side. Now we're not going to have any pink bands on this side, but we will need to remove the bottom one white and one peach from the end. From the center pin, it's one white and two peach. And then on the last pin, it's one white and one peach. And then we're going to push all of this down. And now for this next layer, we're going to add another layer of peach bands, but what we want to do is add the eyes this time. So I'm going to again start at the left hand side, and I'm going to put the peach bands, working my way to the top, to the right. But then on the way back, I'm going to add my eyes. So I have the black beads that I have already strung onto the peach bands. If you don't have black beads, you don't have to do anything. Just do regular peach bands right here, and then I'll show you how you can add eyes at the end. So for right now, I'm just going to put these on, working my way back down. And then the next one. And then I want to push that down. And I want to move the beads as close to the front as possible. And then again, I'm going to remove the bottom bands. So I have two on the end pins and four in the center. So I'm just going to be removing one from the end and then two from the center pin. And then one on the end. Flip to the other side and do the same thing. And one at the end. And then push all of this down. And now for this next layer, I'm going to start on the Santa's hat. So I want to expand out from the length of 3 pins that we have been using to the length of 5 pins. So I'm going to go one over to the left to start, and I'm going to go up and diagonally to the right and twist. And I'm just going to zigzag my way up and down to the right. And I'm going to extend out one more pin on the right hand side and twist till I get to the length of 5 pins, and then I'm going to work my way back. Again, I always have to twist on the ends since there's nothing underneath, just come back down, and then again twist on this last band. And then I want to again remove the bottom layer, which this time it's going to be all of the peach bands. So from this pin I'm going to remove the bottom peach band. There's only one. And then on the center I need to remove the bottom 2 bands. And then on the next one up, just one. That's all the peach for the front. Flip to the back side, and again, one on the end and 2 for the center of the peach bands, and then one on the next pin. And then push all of this down. And then I'm going to add my next layer of white using a length of 5 pins. So I'll just work my way up. I always want to make sure that the bands are pushed down and that they don't overlap one another on the pins. And then I'm just going to work my way back down. And then I'm going to again remove the bottom layer. This time I'm removing 1 from the end pin and 2 from all of the center pins. And then again 1 from the ends and 2 from all of the center pins. And again, push all of this down. And now I want to move the end white bands in. So I'm going to take the bottom left and go up and to the right, put it on that pin above, diagonally to the right. And now from the one above, I'm going to come down and diagonally to the right, just placing it right on top. And then I want to remove the bottom band from each of those pins to secure that in place. I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. The top band will come down and to the left, and the bottom band will come up and to the left. And then I'm just going to remove the bottom band from either pin. And again, push this down. And now I'm going to start with the color of the hat. So you can have red or green, or I have this dark red color. So I'm going to string this the length of 3 pins. And then come back down. And then again I'm going to remove the bottom layer. This time I want all the whites to come off. So I have 2 bands on the end pin and 2 on the center, and again 2 on the end. Go to the other side and again remove all of the white. And then again keep pushing this down. And now I'm going to add another layer of the red. And then I want to remove the bottom layer, 1 from the end and 2 from the center, and again 1 from the end. Go to the other side and repeat. And then I'm going to be adding yet another layer of red. This is going to be my third layer of red bands. Again, remove the bottom layer, one from the end and two from the center, and then one from the end again. Do the same thing for the other side. And then push all of this down. And now I want to move the ends in. So I'm going to start at the bottom left, move it up and diagonally to the right, put it right on the top of that pin. Take the one above it and move that down and diagonally to the right. And then I'm going to take the bands on the other side. So the top band will come down and to the left, and the bottom band will come up and to the left. And now if you look at your pin, you should have 4 bands on. So we want to remove the bottom 2 bands from both pins. And then push this down as well. And now I'm going to add 2 more white bands. This is going to be like the top of the hat. So I'm going to add them both at once. And then I'm going to remove the bottom bands of red or whatever color you're working on. And so now I just have the 2 white bands. And what I'm going to do is take the 2 bands on my hook, the ones that are in the front row, and place them up on the next pin above, right on the top. Then you want to take the bottom 2 white bands and move them over the top. And then you should just have 2 white bands left on the pin. And then we're ready to take the Santa off the loom. So if you put your hook down, pick up those 2 white bands, and then I like to take this end row of pins off so it's easy to get out. And then you can take a C-clip or an S-clip or another band. I'm going to take another band, put it on my hook, and then pull it through those 2 loose bands. Get this end back on the hook, and then again loop one end through the other, and then pull to make a knot. And then this is your Santa. You can see his eyes are a little bit inside, so what you can do is just tug on them a little bit to move them forward on the bands. And then for the mouth, what you can do is take a band, either peach or pink or whatever color you'd like, and you can see where you want your mouth to be. So reach the hook in from the back where you want one of the sides of the mouth to be. Take your band and then put it on your hook and pull it back through to the back side. And then see where you want the other end of your mouth to be, and take your hook and from the back side reach through, grab that other end, and then again pull it down through so it comes out the back. And then here is your mouth for your Santa. And what you'll need to do is take a clip. I have a C-clip here, and I'm going to get these loose ends back on my hook, and then I want to attach them to the C-clip or an S-clip so they don't come off. So you just have to make sure that both ends get attached. And then this is your Santa. Now if you didn't have the black beads for the eyes and you made your Santa without any eyes, what you can do is take a black band, and what you want to do is see where you want one of the eyes to be, and then just put your hook in, and then take this black band, get it on your hook and pull it through to the front, and then where you want the other eye to come out, again reach your hook through the front, grab the other end of the black band and pull it through, and then that will be your Santa's eyes. And if it's too far forward, you can just pull it back a little bit from the back side to make the eyes smaller. And that's what he will look like.